Mm.
And welcome
34.
to the late
Welcome to the Late
sesh.
Sesh.
There you go. That's a better impression.
That was my. Ooh, that was.
Do
Oh,
a radio
dang.
guy.
I can't do that again. You see how hyped Rebecca got? Damn, she's over there trying to light his hair on fire and
He
shit.
wants me to get a
You see
haircut.
the face he made? It was crazy face.
I just saw like a wicked smile
I looked up and saw like
on Becca's face with that
shining.
flame. Look at
I went down.
You got a shining going on. Oh, look.
that.
Will you not be here?
That's a nice one right there, Red. Now that's a. I like that. I like what I'm seeing there.
We're gonna
The
keep on
tips are
packing.
these like honeycomb.
Looks like it.
Little wooden tips.
It reminds me of a
Reusable?
revolver. It reminds me of a revolver. You know, when he kicks out the side. And
These are Midnight Roots tips. He handed us a handful.
Yeah, midnight roots.
Are they
He does,
reusable?
If you've been in
Are they?
some shot,
I don't know. Like, do they get clogged?
We'll be able to reuse. Nah, I don't know. We'll be
like
able
they
to
make glass tips that you can just soak in alcohol.
easily unclog them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got some of those.
We could at least use them a couple times, and we could probably
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can use them a couple times. That's better than
use them a
Yeah.
couple times.
I just feel like
single use.
soaking it in ISO is just gonna like get into the wood and
So we got a
Yeah, I just mean as long as it doesn't clog on first joint, you can use it again. I feel like it might not be as tasty, but who knows?
I made a little thing around it, and then I always backlick it anyway. So I backlicked it and just kind of like held
What's
it.
Backlicked it.
What do you
Oh, I
mean
see.
backlick it?
Well, yeah, I guess I haven't covered this in a really long time. So
Yeah, we'll get you
here
on
your
the
paper,
This is cool. Actually, I
Right.
like this.
and so here's the gum line right there, and that's the sticky part, right? That's the back side of the paper. Most people will lick the gum here, roll it, and it'll come unrolled, and they'll have a fuck time trying to get it stuck. Ever since I started back licking, I'll actually lick the back of the paper. So I'll roll it. I'll get my joint all good and tight in the joint, and it's ready to be done. At that point, instead of opening it back up and licking it and then folding it, I just got it done. I just lick it, and it's done. And what ends up happening, I have never had it unroll. I have not had a joint unroll on me in fucking almost a decade since I've been doing this maneuver. It will change your life. It is life changing. The person who showed it to me said that it was life changing, and I go, I'm going to try that. And I started doing it, and I had my way of rolling joints down. I had already been a joint roller for 10 or 15 years, man. I was rolling joints, and this dude changed my life by back rolling this fucker. So here, I'll show you. I'll just simply roll. Let's pretend I got a little bead in here, and I'll
a little what?
a little weed. I said I don't know what I was saying.
little bead.
Weed.
I heard a
Here's
bead.
the paper, right? Instead of opening it, I'm just gonna lick it, right?
Yeah.
Give it that. And you don't do too much, you just get a little bit wet. I'm gonna pull the sucker back.
And it's soaking
done,
through.
man. It's done. It's already done. That's all it took. I didn't even slob it. I didn't do anything. I just got a little. I could probably go like that, and it would.
You didn't
Did
slob
you
it.
did you stick the
didn't even
filter
swab
in
it.
there?
Huh? It's not sticking where I didn't lick. So the other part is not sticking, but here where I did stick. Let's peel it apart. It's pretty stuck. Pretty dang.
Yeah, but what about with the wooden filter?
Oh yeah, that's on there. This is good.
So he made it.
Do it around it.
So I did it around it, and then on this end I just put another filter so I could just like have like a little corn on the cob. And then-
Or the cob.
but I held it tight enough so that it's just press fit. There's no it's friction fit. Let me say that it's
Gotcha.
slidable. It's not stuck. You can say I just accidentally slid it upward. So I have to be careful when I'm actually packing it not to pop it out. See. Ooh.
Yeah, push it back
There it
out.
goes.
This has been fun.
Like a push pop.
Stop.
But I don't
Oh
want
my
to do
God.
that. So I'm gonna have to push it in. And I'm just gonna work it. And I don't want to pack it too tight either. Only down here a little bit so that it doesn't have get kinked or anything. But what I want to do is I want to loosely pack it so that there's still some airflow going in it. And it's got its thing. So while we're all hanging out here, I'm gonna pack this sucker. And I'll tell you why I'm gonna pack this sucker, because at midnight at hash time, we're gonna smoke this sucker. And we're gonna smoke this sucker We're rolling a 38-year hooter. We don't normally smoke joints this size, but we're going to smoke a joint this size because it's for a celebration of 38 years. We're also cheersing some wine. So cheers, everybody. This
So cheers.
wine is called
Can
the
you take us off Main Street?
Agriculturalist. Yeah, we're
yeah.
large on the screen. The Agriculturalist
Royals over.
is the wine that we're gonna indulge. We don't normally drink either, so we're gonna have a little
Cheers.
a little herb in wine. Yeah, this wine's pretty
In
good.
celebration of what though?
38 years strong.
It's your almost birthday.
Red's birthday
Okay,
at midnight.
I'll be 38. It's also the equinox. I should say we're celebrating the equinox.
Is that 38 revolutions around the sun?
38 red balloons, man. 38 revolutions and 38 red balloons. Cheers, Daddy Red. Daddy Red's in chat. Daddy Red is
cheers.
It's part his birthday as well because he's part of the creation of me 38 years ago. Almost 39 years ago. And Mama Red, if she's listening, and she might be listening. Shout out to both of my parents for creating
Making all this possible.
They it's just as much their birthday as myself, so
And then Spartan went to tell his son, "You hear this?"
No, I had to let that was Boris knocking on my door. I had to let him in.
Oh. Tell them. Make sure you tell them.
and we're filling
I
this
tell 'em.
celebratory hooter with gorilla breath.
Hell yeah.
It's
Little
gonna put you to sleep.
oh, it might put the conversation to sleep, but that's not for an hour, guys. So get it while it's getting.
Oh, shout
Yeah,
out to
well-
Mama Red. She's saying happy birthday to my
Oh.
baby boy.
In there.
Yep.
Red right there. Not yet. Almost. Not officially for like another 12 hours, really. 15 hours.
Born in the evening.
Yeah, I was born in the afternoon. I'm a little cusp baby. I'm neither Aries or a Pisces. I'm right in the middle. I don't know which to call myself. I'm at the end of the Pisces scale and at the beginning of the Aries.
What do you mean? What's today?
The 20th and the
20th.
21st. So depending on which map you look at, most of them will say Aries. Some of them will say Pisces. Some will say cusp.
That's confusing.
And specifically the equinox cusp, the Aries Pisces one is the end of one zodiac and the beginning of the other zodiac, which is a much more difficult to manage zodiac sign.
Let's have a dab.
So let's have a dab,
Ha!
Everyone.
everyone.
Have time.
When I get done with this hooter, we'll give it a little weigh. I'm not packing it too tight, but I want to give it enough rigidity so that it doesn't fall apart while it's smoking. It doesn't run, smoke all funky and weird, just burn off to the side.
Yeah.
Burn for the remainder of the show. Let's see.
Yeah.
That far into it so far?
Damn, you are not going fast.
Well, he's got an hour to do it,
I
right? So
understand Becca's need
taste
for a
him.
dab now.
I'm just like, this sucker's big, man. This
you
is
put
a
some
patty.
you put any hash
Yeah,
in
but
there,
but
fry
the
it.
whole point of
5/8
packing a joint is like ease, and you just.
Yeah. I'm just easing it in there. Well, okay. I'm sorry. The thing was down a little bit. It's almost halfway.
Almost.
Almost halfway.
Debatable.
It is debatable. Oh man, we were in the outdoor garden like a motherfucker today, getting our new cannabis. Actually, working on the cannabis space. We're reshaping that area where the cannabis is. Dude, I'm super excited. We're actually going to be doing like a deep wood chip mulch type of a bedding back there. Yeah, bedding for the cannabis for all those plants. I mean, we're going to do a whole bunch of vining plants too in that area. So we'll say pumpkin. We'll say a lot of squash, really. We're going to put our cucumbers in the region. We're going to keep a lot of the perennials in there, yarrow, I mean, probably plant some more perennials. There's a big giant like Shasta daisy patch that I think I'm going to keep in the middle. It gets about 4 or 5 feet tall. It's fucking awesome. And it's just going to keep getting bigger. There's some thyme and some other stuff that I don't want to smother with the wood chips. So that area I'm going to slowly manage and build it out. But this area that I was messing with today, I will be updating probably tomorrow. I took a few pictures, but I kind of want to do a like before and after shot and post it all at once. Probably updating that tomorrow on Red Setter Farm, and then that's probably going to be the last like outdoor garden update on Red Setter Farm. I'm gonna post some cannabis updates on Red Setter Farm. A lot of our outdoor garden space has kind of on Red Setter Farm has kind of turned into like the creation of like the entire garden, which is chickens and it's food forests and a lot of other stuff besides cannabis. I think I'm gonna put the Red Setter Farm focus more on our products that we have available for our patients, consumers, and consultations, things like that. Which obviously our outdoor garden is a big part of that. So a lot of more or less back to cannabis content on the Red Setter Farm channel. We're going to be forwarding a lot of that, garden building and all of that stuff. All of that's going to be more of a focus on Rosemary's Oasis. Rosemary's Oasis on both the YouTube channel and the Instagram channel. We'll probably be just simultaneously posting some things, but then some other stuff might be one and the other. So I'm probably going to do one final like walk around on the Red Setter Farm. And then from there on out, it might just be like simple photography, back to photography, back to products and garden shots and maybe some indoor, but it's going to be summertime, so a lot of outdoor. Yeah man, I'm super excited. You guys got stuff for outdoor getting started? Speaking of outdoor season,
I have nothing started for outdoor right now, but I'm gonna have lots of vegetables, but I just waiting for the weather to break, man. I'm thinking that for this week, maybe, because I like to just seed straight out, especially on my brassicas. I like to just seed them straight out there. So, I'm gonna focus a little bit more on some lettuces this year, where I didn't really have much last year. I had some spinach and kale, but I didn't really have lettuce, so I kind of missed it. So I'm gonna try.
Perfect time for it right now.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Is it's not. I want the snow to get off my beds, but then I can.
Yeah, you gotta get the snow off. You gotta be able to work it in.
Yeah.
I want to.
But honestly, with the thaws, the cold and the thaws and the cold and the thaws,
yeah,
that's been really good on the beds, because when it does thaw and I look in there, it looks like I can plant right in. It doesn't even have a lot of anything growing on the top, which is awesome.
Let's do a little.
We got to play with some of the beds today out there and put some new compost on them and kind of cover them up, because they could be planted into. We're still gonna get more cold, so we got to be careful. But we're gonna get some cold frames hopefully in this next weekish built.
Nice. I got one bed that I have a frame over that I just throw plastic over, but I don't even have that going this year because I want to change that bed out anyway. But one thing that I have that I love is it's a leaf blower that I bought at Sam's Club a long time ago, like 5 or 6 years ago. But it's reversible, one of the ones that reverses, so it can be like a vacuum cleaner, and it mulches up the leaves and collects them in a bag. So what I'll do is, once the snow is gone, I'll go out there and just suck up all the leaves in the corners that blew around all winter long, and I'll mulch my beds with just the tree leaves, and that's usually there pretty much all summer long. It creates a nice little mat.
Yeah,
but it's all gone now. Like it never made it through the winter. Something about the wintertime breaks all that stuff down.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. This year, like everything kind of survived through the winter. Even the leaves, like the grass, everything is still bumping. We had our indoor cannabis leaves, right? We would collect them all at the farm in like a no fence on the property. There's like nowhere to contain my cannabis waste without like somebody getting into it or me being paranoid that somebody's going to get into it and figuring out what I'm doing. So I bag it up and I bring it home, but I wait for the bag to, it's a bunch of leaves that go in the bag and then they dry out. And, once the bag gets full, I bring that fucker home and then I put it in this one compost area. And that is strictly indoor cannabis leaves and then grass clippings. And it's just been, kind of a lasagna layer over time in the last kind of couple years. And I finally like peeled back the top layer of like grass that I had been put on. It's just beautiful compost, dude. It's like something you just get in a bag. It looks like worm castings. It's so nice. And so we laid it on these square garden beds where I've been composting and kind of recycling and repurposing my root balls from indoor. So a little bit, it's kind of a indoor cannabis garden recycling center at that back portion back there is where we're using all of our old cocoa balls. So it's kind of like these square raised beds that are like cocoa, and then we mixed this compost into it and then topped it off. And so that's going to be our lettuce garden this year. But I'm super excited that we were able to utilize all those cannabis leaves and we created a compost out of it to re-amend our indoor root balls. Our indoor root ball cocoa, which is, dried out. It's, 0 EC.
I've had stuff growing in it for a couple years also, so it brings in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And then that wood chip pile that we've been fucking with, the chip drop stories a couple weeks back, but
How's that going?
Well, we got into it, man, and like there's a very large chunk. There's a few yards of just top of the tree, dude. It's all leaves. It's just leaf mold and by now it's been 3 weeks, and this is the middle of the pile. There's like hardly any wood chips where I'm like this one portion of the pile that I'm getting at. There's hardly any wood chips, and it's all just leaf mold and mulch.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm using it to top our garden space with. So all the just re-broad forked was gonna be a deep mulch bed. I just laid that shit because it's all sticks and leaf mulch, And so that's gonna be thickened down. I might top that again. We'll see where we're at with the wood chips, but there's a lot more of that I figured, well, there's all these other areas with exposed soil at the moment because our chickens have been fucking around. So all the areas that the chickens have been going through, I'm just going to top with this old leaf mold. Where we were out of material shit was going dry, we have now suddenly came across a bunch more of an abundance of all that material. So, and then Becca's been working into the side of the wood chip pile. It's a little more wood chippy, and she's able to do the pathways and shit. So we have like 3 different types of material in our driveway to work with. We have a coarse wood chip, a fine wood chip that's like mostly like pine tree, which is really nice, and like real small chips, which would be great to like lay in the beds, you know what I mean? Top the beds with. And then there's the coarse stuff, which is great for walkways or, maybe landscaping and stuff. And then there's the leaf mulch portion, which is just fungal dominant. The whole thing's fungal dominant by now because it's been composting. Becca was pointing out how warm it was.
Wear a mask because it gets so fungal.
Gotta wear a mask, definitely. It no longer smells like a fresh cypress tree out in the driveway. It just smells like
well, the inside. So
how much is still in the driveway?
It's like half the driveway.
Shit!
Like one car. It's like one car. About.
You getting neighbors staring?
It's about the size of a F-150. It's about the size of a lowrider. It's about the size of a.
That's a lot.
What's that lowrider?
It's just getting wet from snow, drying out.
Yeah.
I've had a tarp on most of it.
It's all gonna be good. It's all gonna be good stuff.
2 big ass tarps on most of it.
Yeah, it's just like a huge compost pile. So those leaves that are like in the very middle, today I was pulling them out and they were warm, man.
Oh yeah, microbes
really breaking down.
Hell yeah.
Super excited, man.
You ever thought about even taking some of the wood chips and growing some gourmet mushrooms, like some blue oyster or any oyster mushroom, or
we have them in our. We have them already inoculated in the apple trees that I took from my neighbor after her tree fell down. used a lot of that material, and I inoculated some plugs. Got North Spore plugs. Did yellow and blue oyster and shiitake and lion's mane. And so they're all stacked up underneath a tarp just to stay away from the freezing wind and shit like that. But it's starting to get to the point. It's going to rain in a couple days. I'm going to take that tarp off and let them get soaked. And I think that the temperatures are above freezing at least for the next couple weeks, even at nighttime. So I think I'm going to start leaving that tarp off, and then maybe I'll start getting some shiitakes popping up. But the idea is, yes, Spartan, with all this wood chip and all of these pathways and all this nice fresh mulch, I'm really hoping to take all of this mushroom waste and I'm just going to like tap mushroom spores everywhere.
Yeah.
Around the whole entire fucking thing and just tap on little mushrooms, and hopefully like what is
healthy
logs will just sporulate all over the whole yard. Yeah.
A healthy fungal network underneath will make for a healthy garden.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
We're already the yard that has like all the birds and like everybody's waiting. Like we got crows, an owl. It's crazy, dude.
I got a hawk or a falcon. I don't know what it is.
But I shoo it away. It's
yeah.
now for me because
Not for you.
I'll come.
We have evidence. We have evidence of a barn owl over by you.
Oh yeah, and I got an owl. I got an owl.
Too.
But that's at night, I guess. And I'm never out there. But luckily, my dog's big enough. They don't try for that. I don't have much going outdoors. Spartan thought I did, but I just have a couple sips. And like I got deck pots, but Spartan made a good point. I'm just gonna let them go because they might have seeds in them from last year. I'm hoping they just grow up and.
Because he had a bunch of herbs and peppers growing out there last year.
Yeah, shit ton of different ornamentals.
If you let them go, there's seeds there. Just let them. I bet you something's gonna sprout up.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Yeah, we got a bunch of peas up already.
Really?
Garden last year. Yeah, dude. And I don't mean
nice
garden. I mean like some awesome little pea shoots already shooting up.
Damn.
They're healthy.
Yeah, they're good.
I've seen flowers.
Crazy.
That's about
it's
it.
So cold at night.
Daffodils have already sprouted up and everything. With I've had tulips starting to come up and irises starting to come up.
Yeah, a lot of times, as long as there's not a foot of snow on the ground, or the ground's frozen, if it'll thaw out, they'll grow a little bit and break that freeze ground, and the ground can freeze around them. Some areas, I did a little post of this the other day on my Instagram about the different areas of my yard. The southern, facing portion is so much more thawed out than the northern facing portion. And then we were driving home from the Fledge Sunday yesterday. And I was looking, we were driving east, so you got north and you got south. And the north slope was full of fucking snow. And the southern slope just looked like a fucking beach, dude. It was all sunshine. And I'm like, there it is, man. That's why all the ski resorts are on the north side. I think North Face, North Face, the ski fucking company, whatever. It's the snow side of the mountains. They get just a little bit less, at least in the northern hemisphere. Right, especially up in the north, we're up close to the 45th parallel. It's much like that. You have a different conversation in the southern hemisphere, but it's interesting to watch the microclimates in your own. Like, dude, we just have a small backyard. It's like 100 feet by it's rather large backyard for our area, being 100 feet by 100 feet, but it's enough to like there's areas back there that are frozen, there's areas that are thawed out, there's areas still with snowdrift, there's areas with icy mulch that you can't bust through, and you have to go do the work and work on the beds sometimes at appropriate times of the year, or when and we can't get to the other area. I can't start breaking ground for the greenhouse yet because that ground is actually still frozen. I can't even kick that dirt around yet. I can't hit it with a shovel.
That's what Spartan kicked my pots, and they were rock solid still, even though they were in the sun all day.
Yeah.
So
these aren't doing anything anytime soon. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's why I'm not doing anything too quick on the outdoor.
Like 50s tomorrow. They might get a little chance to thaw out, but yeah, dude.
And then it's gonna rain.
Yeah. Oh, that rain might help actually.
Yeah. If it's warm rain.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's gonna be in the 40s at least. The weather's looking pretty okay below, Lansing, below Flint area. We're looking
Yeah.
pretty good, you know. I found out that our zone is now 6B, 6B, 6B.
What does that mean? They changed our zone?
Yeah, we were 5A a few years ago. 2 years ago we were 5. When I first moved out here,
We
and
didn't get colder.
about 10 years, no, warmer. We got 10. 10 is like Florida, right? 10 might be.
Oh, it goes down. Okay.
So we went from 5A back when I moved out here and was researching it. It was like 2013, 2014 when I first put in my garden and was trying to figure out, what kind of stuff can I grow. It was like 5A was where we were at, and now we're coming up 6B. Super bizarre. They say by 2099 we'll be zone 10 and be able to actually grow like citrus up here.
I was about to say, zone 10, you can grow greenhouse cannabis probably year round without a heater.
Yeah. It might just be that way, in another 40 years, 50 years, where we might.
That's why I kind of want to see what they're talking about. Florida getting home grow and all this shit, new laws, new bills.
Fuck.
But that place, yeah. But I mean, so I guess you would need humidity, for the greenhouse. But
you need some reheat in there, man.
yeah, but you wouldn't need any light or any temperature, I don't think.
Well, I don't think our light is going to change. We're still going to get the same amount of, I think they get a little better sunlight down south.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's more sunlight.
There's more sunlight.
There's something to it. I'm going to Google it.
Well, we're just going to get more heat, less sun.
The length of the day, it doesn't change.
Yeah,
you're closer to the equator. You're closer to the equator.
We're just getting hotter because of the
climate change. Yeah.
I think that's big enough of a joint.
Oh, we're maxing it out though. We're still having.
That's a 27-minute packing. That is definitely a birthday joint.
I still think that in Florida you would still have to supplement light in the wintertime.
Yeah.
To be able to grow cannabis.
You do.
Maybe like a little bit of December and January. But then it goes back to sunny. And so when you would need to supplement light would be how it gets cold and we get scared of the cold outdoor here because that's when, a lot of the plants go bad.
I know November, really.
Yeah. So a little bit before that is rainy season in Florida. So you'll get weeks of just overcast, zero sun. That's when you might have to do that, I guess.
No, for example, in Michigan, you can grow in a greenhouse in the summertime, no problem. If you try to do that same thing in the wintertime, even if you heat your greenhouse, you're not getting enough sun to grow plants that are worth growing.
Yeah. There's 8 hours.
You get sun in Florida in the winter.
We get sun in the winter up here, but it's further away. It doesn't reach it's not enough. I'm telling you.
I think it would be enough.
That's Sequence. He found this out when he was growing.
Pretty much on the 45th.
I know up here. I'm not talking about up here. We're talking 1,000-mile difference.
Second
parallel. Well,
okay. You know what I mean?
And that's just to the line.
We're almost to where things start to change come the solstice and equinox, where the sun just doesn't hit the same because of that 45 degrees. You start getting over the hump. You know what I mean? It's almost like a shadow. We're in the shadow zone up over that 45th. That's why there's such more of a snow load just north of, they call it the wall. It's basically the 45th parallel is that figurative wall. And there's talk about microclimates. You go from really what's a deciduous pine, right, and oak to birch and maple and shit, right? You get a lot of birch and maple once you hit that wall, dude. It's super cool, man. Just look at the flora.
Yeah.
Totally changes.
You know what I was checking out? You guys know Venice? The city?
Venice?
The one with the water?
In France?
Yeah, it's built on water.
Yeah.
It's really built on mud.
Yeah. Well, now,
I saw a video where they peel back the city, and it's billions of logs. So I started looking into how are these logs 1,000 years old underwater, not rotting and stuff. And it turns out the mud surrounds them, and somehow the oxygen can't get to them. Therefore, no bacteria can, mold them or eat them, and they end up turning like rocks. They fossilize.
Like petrified or whatever. That's cool.
Yeah, and so literally all the buildings you still see are literally on some of those original like logs from 1,000 years ago.
So I bet it's better hope they don't ever have any kind of earthquakes in that area.
Well, it was a whole thing I was watching. They're going. They don't have any. The only thing they have is tourism, and they're sinking, and it's so much money to repair everything that it's a lost cause. So eventually, it's gonna go away.
So those buildings they're sinking currently? I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, like they're having
Yeah.
to spend millions and probably billions if they have it, just repairing shit left and right.
That's rough.
And that's like we're talking like underwater foundation repair.
Yeah, dude.
So that's probably the worst kind of repair you have to do.
I wonder if the wood was also like burned. You ever see that technique? Instead of you can do this
I
like with
wonder.
posts, you can do it with fence posts and a lot of other things to make them rot resistant. Is to actually torch them. Like you have to actually charcoal the entire log. You got to not just like the outside, but like let it burn, and then it like I know it carbonizes it or something. I don't know the correct term for it, but it hardens it to an extent. It allows it so that the maybe it allows the biodegradable stuff, the stuff that the fungus and all the microbes and everything are going to eat. Maybe it kills all that stuff off, or makes it so that it's
Well, no, like look here. Let me see
there.
if I can show this.
It's like impenetrable from like fungus and mold and moisture. All you do is you just torch it.
Like, look at this. They made sure to pile drive them. Like that's how they would put them in. That's your base foundation, and it's
Damn,
literally
I know.
sunk into mud. So
What?
like I said, there's no oxygen getting to those logs. Therefore, there's no bacteria or microbes able to break it down and use it for energy, and start, decomposing. So they end up just, I guess, hardening. So they will take like, like here's some pictures. Look, so they'll take that and then they start building planks across that as like your first layer of foundation, and then eventually they start using stone on top of that, and then they start building a building. It's crazy. Like you can see, look right here. There's all your logs, and those are in mud. And then you start getting bricks and stuff that's in like sediment. I was like, what? This is, and most of these are 1,000 years old because I guess they figured it out. But they had to do that because they were trying to run from when I guess Rome fell. They had to run from like bandits. And they got so sick and tired of it, they're like, we're gonna build out in the middle of this mud field. We're building a city, and that's what they did. And that way, I guess they could see them coming, or they would get stuck in the mud and they could shoot them with an arrow or something. I don't know. But it was interesting because I was like, wow, those things have no oxygen, therefore microbes can't work. So it's good to know you can pack someone with a lot of mud.
Shout out to the Venetians.
Yeah. At one point, they were the richest in the world. The richest city-state in the world.
Interesting.
I wonder how much cannabis went through that city at that time because it was probably accepted.
It's probably
Shit
traded
ton.
like commodity.
Yeah. That'd be cool to time travel.
It'd be cool to time travel, but I'd be nervous that I'd be changing everything.
No, I just prepare. Like I'd get the clothing and I'd make sure I just wasn't
Like
gonna
every
fuck
step
shit
you
up.
take could be possibly fucking shit up, though.
I think that's a little overrated. I'm just not gonna tell anybody anything and be like, oh shit, that's where Caesar dies. Oops. Like, oh my bad. Like I think that's more of it. And you can't bring like a gun. Can't bring like a gun and be like, oh yeah, I'm taking over. That's obviously gonna change things or something, but can't bring any technology. I think I read a book about this.
That's how you get statues with cell phones in their hands, and they're supposed to be ancient statues and stuff.
Like we basically, I'm not indulging this or endorsing this, but We have to go rob a museum and get like authentic, that era clothing and stuff, and then we go back.
Oh man, that's gonna stink, man. That's gonna be so bad smelling.
I don't know.
It's been
I don't
sitting
know
rotten in a museum this whole time.
I think museums are well maintained as far as climate.
What gave you that impression?
They have HVAC. They keep mummies and stuff that they don't want decomposing art.
I don't know, man. I've been to through a
You've been
few
to some shitty museums if
Yeah.
things are smelling bad and they don't have any climate control.
Well, I didn't say they didn't have climate control, but I'm just saying I don't think that they're like totally like wearable.
Well, maybe not. We'll find out. We'll find out. Otherwise, we're gonna have to get some. That's the key. I would do it.
You'd wear a toga?
I don't know if I'd want to go to that time period though.
Oh, okay. What time period would you want to go back to?
Oh, that's a good question. Damn, put me on the spot. I don't know. I'd probably want to go back. Oh man, it would probably have to be medieval.
But you wouldn't want to go back to see yourself to try to like warn yourself of anything or change anything.
No, that's too. No. Wait, well, what's the parameters? Do I ever get back, or is this permanent? Teleport.
No, what would happen is whatever you told that person, that told yourself, whether you believed it or not, if it would change your actions, then you would just automatically change to fit that. Because
but then I'd be stuck in the past, and there'd be two of me.
No, we'll just say that the thing has a timer.
I disappear.
It just blips you back.
Okay. Oh well, then I'm just visiting somewhere, or I get to tell myself a secret. A tip.
Yeah, you can either go somewhere in time where you just want to know what fucking happened, or you can use it to go back and tell yourself, hey, you know what, do this, and it can save you a lot of misery in your life.
Man, I'm not going back to myself. That's too selfish. I'm going back, and I'm going back with like a really advanced weapon, and I gotta like kill Hitler or something.
Gun. You just said you can't bring a gun and shit.
Well, you said I'm coming back automatically.
I specifically said too, though, that you could go see what happened. I didn't say you could like affect it.
All right. Here's what I'm doing. I'm getting a 1942 era gun, or no, I'm getting a 1920 gun. I'm going back and I'm killing little Hitler.
So you're gonna kill a baby. So you're gonna become Hitler.
No, like a teen or something. Bro, you're no good, man. Sorry. I don't know.
But at that point, everybody's gonna see you as killing an innocent.
I got it, bro. I'm going so far back to where we decided not. Oh man, I don't want to ruin industrialization, but like where we desynced from nature. You know what I mean? Like instead of having yards, it's like maybe it's like now, but everybody has gardens in their front yard instead of grass.
It was called agrarian society.
Exactly. Maybe like where we deviated there and try to fix that and be like, no,
1800s.
Do not make a factory for cattle.
Well, I think the biggest step there was when the pharmaceutical companies were allowed to push the herbalist colleges out, and
that might be where you go.
And that because there used to be universities.
But if you go further back to where we deviated from, like, I'm talking, this must have been right after caveman and like right when we started settling. Then you would solve all that you're talking about. You wouldn't even have bad pharmaceutical. If you have pharmaceutical, it would be herb based already. It would be plant based.
Well, there's good pharmaceutical.
Medicine.
I'm not saying it's bad.
No, but I'm just saying there's a shit ton of bad these days.
Yeah.
In that era, and you're right. They shunned out herbal medicine, which a lot of people like Rosemary's Oasis and stuff bring to light. So I think you would have to do something like that.
I think that everything happens for a reason, right? And like, how am I gonna choose just one thing to go back to change? Like, I don't think I would do that. I think I would like go go back to like Egyptian times just to be there, just to like.
So you're a visitor.
I just like feeling like going to like complete some task. Like why is that on? Like, I don't think that's something I want to choose.
Maybe everything happens for a reason. The time machine fell into your lap for a reason.
Because it shouldn't be used to change the past. It should be used to just.
Well, then that's what happens when you get it.
Well, you got to think about that killing Hitler thing, right? Like, I'm all for it, but like, let's think about like the idealisms that he was taught, right? Like, who are his like, there's
yeah, that's what you're. I get. Where you go further back. He definitely had mentors.
He's a pawn in a larger game, right? What's the larger game of like of eugenics or whatever it is?
I think it was it fascism?
Well, that and like genetic manipulation, right? Like he and that whole blonde hair.
Yeah.
Like
it would just be somebody else, like a different name.
Single like
But would it? That's the question.
The whole perfect race thing, but there was more to it. You know, there was like epigenetic type shit involved. Like there was weird shit going on.
Yeah, like it's
so like who is he like what were his motivators? You know what I mean? Like I think that there's more to the story than just him being a psychopath. Like obviously there's, you know, he was into like speed and like, you know, weapons and like, you know, bad karma and just the whole stuff, you know, all the bad stuff that went with World War II. But there's probably a deeper meaning that would like, if it wasn't Hitler, maybe somebody else, you know what I mean? So you have to like knock off the roots. So like it's so deep. Could it be done? You know what I mean? Like you have to go so far back. You have to like get the influencer of the influencer of the influencer of the influencer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the butterfly effect is so deep with that. Like who knows what you
That's the reverse butterfly.
Yeah.
Something that big, like I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You gotta go back to like caveman. Be like, listen, guy, come over here. Yeah. Start planting some plants, buddy.
Here's the thing. I think that you're right though, in the sense of if you go back far enough to the agrarian split, or if the like, you know, that whole like because of all of that science, I don't want to just broadly say science, because of the malicious, you know, intent science, you know, the stuff to like change the human genome and like all that stuff that was like being researched in like the mid to late 1800s, you know what I mean? That was like really the precursor to like all the crazy shit that went on in the early 1900s, right? If you like kept it agrarian, I think, and same as you're saying, I think that it would affect a lot of that stuff to where like we wouldn't have the issues that we had with both Hitler and even the H-bomb and like a lot of things, you know, that were all like a lot of stuff was bad about the early 1940s, you know, who knows what else, you know, well, we're just coming off of the Great Depression. I mean, like think about all of that stuff, the overproduction of just like industrialization, because we were no longer an agrarian society, because we were manufacturing goods at such an extra enormous rate that the wall fell out. You know what I mean?
We would maybe never make countries. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
One world, and might be way ahead or way behind.
To be picket fences, you know, I mean,
because now in order to get no countries, and like we're gonna need like a mass extinction event to scare us into like, all right, everybody work together. We need to either fix this or get off.
Yeah, it's not gonna just like change. Things aren't just gonna like.
But in a perfect world, in efficiency sense, would be one unit. I think.
No, I think it would be a bunch of groups of units. Maybe.
I think if you go to an alien planet that can travel to the universe, they're not going to have multiple countries. They will in the past, in their history.
I think they will. It's like
some point they unify.
Well, yeah, I think that at some point they're somewhat unified, but really, because they're stretched out by different worlds. That world is their own. This world's their
Oh,
own. They're very different.
world, probably. I'm
And they're all
talking
very
just
different from each other.
yeah. Well, then you'll have like space station where everybody meets, and we have the
All of
marketplace.
these
Like
alien
we have
planets.
New York.
No, you don't know.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All different types of wars going on their planets too.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Likely. Yeah, because it was very curious that Bake said he was going to go back and kill Hitler instead of say like try to change his mind or find out what made him that way and change him. He's just going to kill him. That's just humans, man. We just want to kill shit we don't understand. It's crazy. It makes us pretty hard to contact, I think, because especially if you're a superior race and the first instinct is for like, what do you do to an animal that always attacks you when you get close to it? You fucking kill that motherfucker.
Well,
You want to eat something? Kill it.
you gotta do like a Steve Irwin and put your hand, whoa there, and then you just squeeze it. And if they come like that, we might not bite them. Okay. But
Do you really
if
believe that?
they come in blazing hot, we're coming in blazing hot.
Right, but I think that our governments around the world come in blazing hot, whether we want that to happen or not.
100%. If
Yeah.
aliens showed up, where's the nukes? Launch
Exactly.
the nuke. Which country's got the biggest nuke these days? Launch it. Oh yeah, we're fucked. And then the aliens are gonna literally go and swallow the nuke up, spit it out into deep space or something, and be like, "All right, you guys are done. You guys are done." And I don't know what they're gonna do, but it's not gonna be what we want. Tell you that.
Plug us into the Matrix, man. Power their robots.
Yeah. We might end up getting harvested. Would that be so bad?
Well, that's one of the things you hear a lot is that they're after water, and what are we mostly made out of in our bodies?
Water.
It's a good way to haul water around the universe where it can walk itself around.
I think they found a lot of water already in space though. Like,
Yeah, there is a lot of water.
Like we used to think there wasn't, but like there is actually. Most planets have a bunch, and
They found some on Mars, I believe.
yeah, Pluto's got a bunch, I believe, because it's half ice.
It's just a chemical reaction, so it's gonna happen if there's all these other things
Hydrogen,
going on.
Yeah.
What's the deal though? It needs an atmosphere to like. Is that what the science says? You have to have an atmosphere for it to stay put, or
yeah,
Well, most of the water they find is like underground as ice.
as ice. So
As far
it's
as I know.
air.
because a lot of those planets don't have atmospheres to hold it onto the planet.
Yeah,
So it's
but
gotta be locked
if you
in.
go deep enough, it is just like our planet where it's cold and
Yes.
insulated.
Because before they came here, whatever species seeded us with their whatever destroyed their atmosphere.
Oh, this theory.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly think that we already destroyed Mars with our just antics, whatever you want to call it. Maybe war. I don't know. Maybe consumerism. I don't know. Mining of cobalt and other goods. Maybe we already relived all of this. Did it once before.
Yeah, but what about? There's also the theory that it's just all happened here a couple times.
And
Mass extinction a couple
yeah,
times.
well, it's
I don't
just
think it's
it
not
has
even a theory anymore. It's
there.
been proven.
it happened there a bunch of times, and then we
No, we're talking bigger than like Ice Age. We're
and then we've
talking
still
like
been doing it here.
30K years ago and stuff like that. Like
Yeah, I think 30K years ago.
that jade ring I told you about, where
100
they
years
found
ago we came from
a
Mars.
perfect drill through the hole. And it's like dated like crazy date back.
Well, that's like the pyramids, man. The Great
Because
Pyramid.
we went through the industrial age already, got wiped out, totally forgot about it. Had to get re-evolved or something, and then came back.
Yeah, but think about this one, Baked. 30,000 years before all of that, we came from Mars.
I get that, yeah, and I kind of like that one because you know that picture I show you with the plateau on top. Like, what if that was like a big fuck up, or like maybe that was the final.
Couple
We tried to
100,000
build
years
a spaceship to get off,
Yeah,
but we couldn't.
100,000 years
Yep.
ago, we fucked up that planet.
So we sent a seed to this planet.
Maybe there was already shit here, like mammoths and dinosaurs, whatever.
What if we just it's an infinite loop of terraforming? We keep terraforming Mars, and
Yeah.
we're gonna after we
We're gonna go
ruin
back
this
to
planet,
Mars.
we're gonna go back to Mars for like another million years,
Let
and then
this-
we're gonna be like,
That's
we gotta go to this next planet. That one we've never been to. We gotta terraform that bitch. That's
We
not
probably-
inhabitable.
Dude,
It's
Venus
got
is
some water. It's got some water. We scanned it.
probably in this like trifecta loop with Venus. Also, Venus is probably somewhere in this.
Is Venus a solid planet?
Yeah, Venus is similar to Earth too. It's our sister planet, as a matter of fact.
Oh, okay.
I think it's more life inhabiting than Mars is. I think it has an atmosphere, but I think it's more gaseous.
It's closer to the sun, so
It
it's
is.
hotter.
It has some hotter days. Maybe some issues with solar flares, but it does have, I think, water and other forms of life.
What I think is more crazy is how Africa is splitting literally in pieces, and there's going to be a new ocean. Have you heard this?
Really?
Oh, an ocean's going to fill that
Yes.
channel.
Yeah, they said it's going to be. I don't know what they'll call it, but
What, like the Africa
Like-
Canal?
so like
So you
Africa,
can get
kind
a
of
boat
this
through?
shape right here. This whole section right here, close to Madagascar, is like splitting off. This big, massive
So,
fissures
like,
in the
let
ground.
me ask you this: along the edges, like where the beaches are, like where it's going to connect and then fill, are there like a bunch of like surfers starting to like dig that away so that they can surf it?
Dude, there's pictures online. You can see there's like massive. It looks like the
Checking
Grand
it out.
Canyon, kind of like opening up.
Oh man, I'm checking it out,
trying
guys.
to surf.
Can you show
This
us?
is scary.
Yeah, let's see this thing. I feel like somebody's gonna try to like surf.
There's your
this.
farm.
Look at that picture and the third one on the top. On the top, the third one to the right. That's what they expect it to look like when it's done. That's
Oh.
craziness.
You're gonna be able to get a boat through there, though.
Timeline there, like
That's what I was looking at. Well, let's look at some pictures real quick.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's like it reminds me of Lion's King. No, that's not it. What's it called? Lion King?
The Lion King?
King. But Lion King, where they run through that
Oh, the can, yeah, with the
Oh,
gazelle.
yeah, you're right.
Where his dad dies.
Yeah.
Very instrumental part of those movies. Yeah.
I called it Lion's King.
Where his uncle betrays him.
Look at that picture right there.
They're
Yeah,
trying
that
to
one.
fix it. Are they trying to fix it?
yeah, they're holding on. They got
No,
it.
it's
that's what I
it's
did, bro.
irrigation.
That's a bridge, bro.
They've got it roped together.
That's still my land.
Oh man, that's crazy. Let me see what they estimate how long.
Let's say it's moving. What? Oh, did you already state how it's moving a centimeter a year or an inch a year or some shit like
That's
that?
where I'm looking.
I didn't say. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, it's been moving like an inch or two a year.
There's a 35-mile-long crack in the Ethiopian desert that is attributed to this. Like a solid line.
Time. Didn't take so
That's
And it
pretty
has
crazy.
been cracking for a long time, is my understanding.
Oh, okay.
Like a really long time. It's just slowly.
These articles suck because, 0.2 inches per year. So,
Dang.
Oh,
the
point.
Arabian plate is
Oh,
moving away from,
it's like a centimeter, right?
And like
it
just
says the Arabian plate is moving away from the Africa. There's two things separating, I guess. There's the Arabian plate at 1 inch per year,
Oh, that one's an inch per year. Okay.
while the two African plates are separating even slower at 0.2.
Wow.
so like just eventually they'll get to a space where it's like they just flood.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the,
well, the
Yeah,
ocean's still
I
going.
guess so. Yeah,
the
as soon
surfers
as
gathered around, and they're all going to start.
Imagine how scary that is.
actually, how water works. All it's gonna take is the crack to reach either the sea up here or the sea over there, and it'll fill that entire anything connected
Imagine
line.
the erosion that's going to.
And then, oh yeah, I didn't even
God.
think of that. The erosion.
Yeah, it's going to happen fast too.
Some people are gonna have.
Crazy.
Or you're gonna get deep enough where it's like it'll get to the water table at some point.
Yeah, that's
Oh
true.
yeah, and you have a
It'll
bottom
just spring
spring.
up,
Yeah,
a spring or
Yeah,
something.
that's true.
Yeah,
And so it's just going to go.
glad it doesn't
You're
happen
going to be
here.
on that side and go, "What the fuck? I'm on an island. I'm moving away. This is fucking. I'm just knock my bong over. Fuck."
But an inch a year, that means let's say 200 years. That's 200 inches. That's a good distance.
How many
You're
inches in a
talking.
mile?
Oh, let's see. Jesus. Inches.
That's a lot.
It's like
63,360.
Did you do that?
So it takes
I did the math really
62,000
fast.
years for it to be a mile wide.
Yeah.
Look at this cord.
But that's not actually that long.
Sweet.
Well, that's actually pretty long.
That's a long time, man.
I was only off by 3,000.
If you think about it, yeah, but like think about a mushroom,
But-
how long
but
they've
all
been
you-
evolving. A mushroom's
but
been
all-
around for millions of years.
Yeah. But all you really need though is for it to move just enough to start letting water in, and the water's doing the rest of the job. So
Yeah,
whenever
Yeah,
that point is-
exactly. That's why I thought your point was big. Because yeah, that water gets in. That's why we have a Grand Canyon. That's why we have all that shit.
Have you seen when
That was
like,
water.
have you
That was
seen when those guys
was
will
powerful
like connect
force.
a reservoir with the ocean? You ever see that shit?
What are you talking
Nope.
about?
Okay, so there's like a water retaining reservoir with like maybe 50 feet beach in between the reservoir and the ocean, and like surfers will dig it out. They'll dig it out so that the ocean enters the reservoir, and it fucking comes in like a wave, dude. And they create a big fucking surf wave, and they ride it for the afternoon and completely destroy and erode the beach. You know, and it's totally
shit, no.
with the fucking ecosystem. And it's like I've seen tons of videos of people doing this shit. They like take these natural reservoir, you know, what might be, they might even be fucking business reservoirs for all, and probably not that close to the waterfront, but like it's pretty wild. So like that's all it takes is like to break that, you know what I mean? And it would just come in.
Start
It's almost that time.
Is it that
For
time?
Red's birthday.
I got 4 minutes. I'm gonna wait it out.
I gotta get my equipment.
Probably
It's like
gonna
a
end up,
stogie.
it's probably gonna end up smoking the entire end of the last half of the show. Big old sucker. We should have some of these prepped for the
Okay,
craft
while we're getting ready for dab time, a long time ago, Anything Grows asked about pumpkins. And so I just want to bring it back to that before I forget after we start smoking this
Bring it on back.
really quick.
at 12 o'clock.
See if I
Turn into a pumpkin.
I would plant them
Pumpkin
somewhere
bomb.
you can plant other stuff, because this last year we had them and it kind of wasted a whole garden space. There's just a couple pumpkins right in this foliage, and there's a lot of planting space you can plant in there. So this year, for example, we're going to plant them in this new garden bed that we have, and we'll also have our cannabis in there and things that'll go up. So just kind of like having the difference in height aspect. Some pumpkins are really big, so I wouldn't put them on trellises. But if you have like the smaller sized, I think that would be good. Or any squash, usually they can support themselves. But you can also get little or make little like slings for them to help them stay up. So you can do that with watermelon and that kind of stuff too.
Okay. I never grown a pumpkin.
Yeah, just think up, because the pumpkins, they spread like crazy, and they're good ground covers. So yeah, go up with stuff like corn, anything tall.
They can come up a good 18 inches, but I'll tell you what, they will get some PM and they will get some disease die off. We've also had them practically die and then start regrowing again from the old dead growth and come back resistant to the PM. Like, it's very cool. Like they're a very cool plant. I've noticed that the PM, I've had pumpkin growing up against my cannabis with powdery mildew, and it wouldn't transfer onto the cannabis. It's a different either species of PM, or your cannabis is resistant enough, or the conditions just aren't right for the cannabis to be susceptible to it. It's a health thing. We have lilac bushes everywhere, and those are always covered in powdery, whatever form of powdery mildew gets the lilacs. But it happens. You might get it. You can prune those leaves. You can eat those leaves. They're a little spiny, but they're hella full of water. Do a lot with that stuff. Yeah, I like
I
growing
just
pumpkins.
feel like
Squash are
after
fun.
they start dying off, the fruits are still growing, the big pumpkins are still growing. But you could probably plant stuff, late stuff
Yeah, you can totally do late season stuff.
in that space that it grew in.
Broccoli.
Have you ever looked up how much a giant pumpkin seed is?
They're about $100.
That's it?
Yeah,
I might try a giant
you
pumpkin
can
and see
get
if
like
I
a
can fit
4-pack.
inside.
I think you can get like a 4-pack for like $100, or maybe it was like a two seeds for $100.
That's pretty good.
It's
Those are like award winning.
Yeah.
Pounders, the 3,000 pounders, like 4,000, 5,000 pounders, dude.
Happy
You're looking at a
birthday,
good couple
happy
$100.
Happy birthday,
Thousands.
Red.
Thousands of dollars. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Light it
Fire
up.
this sucker up. They're gonna have to use that torch.
You think?
Yeah, well, I want to. It's a big stogie. Use a big torch.
Here, I gotta heat up my dab first.
Blaze it
Put
up.
it. Did you put any hash in that joint? I should have told you to put
Didn't. I was
some
thinking
dubers
about it.
in there.
Probably would have burned a lot better.
A little snake in the middle. What do they call that these days? The donuts.
It's called a donut nowadays.
Yeah. I got some stinky butane. I just saw you fill some, Becca. I got some that's so stinky. It's neon. I don't really like it.
Stinky.
Yeah, I think they put a smell in it. Every time I fill my torch,
You gotta twist
it
it.
fills the room with that smell.
He almost just lit his phone on
Light my phone
fire.
on fire here. I'll figure out how to use the torch. So, cheers, everybody. So the top quarter is lemon dozy. And that's how you light it.
That's weird. He was gonna party it when it
Yeah.
different flavors here.
Hash time. So, stogie hash or stogie time. We'll say that hash or stogie time. There you go. Silent bless you, baked.
Nice.
We'll see how this thing runs or not. I like the tip on this though. That's the Midnight Roots tip. You can see the holes down in there.
That's interesting. I like it too. Probably cools it down and smoke a little bit too. Gives you a little bit of distance there.
Say so, yeah. Between the resin and the mouth, it's a nice little mouthpiece. I like it.
Yeah. Should be able to smoke that right down to the filter and be good.
I'd say I don't know. I don't think that it is bamboo. I'd say I don't think it's bamboo. I think this is actually a wooden product. Might actually be
Wood. Oh, okay.
There's an Instagram page for him, I believe.
Oh.
I think it's Midnight Smoking. That's what they're called.
And Midnight Roots has, fuck, dude, 30 different flavors of chocolate bars. Bunch of different flavors. Random blueberry. They'll have pumpkin spice and fucking fall. They'll have, the key lime pie, all the cookies and cream, vanilla. We sold them at New Standard when I was working there. Ton of flavors, those bars. I want to say they started doing 200 milligrams with those bars too. I was talking to him. We were side by side at Gems and Genetics last summer. They were doing like free chocolate samples and stuff. Obviously, they can't sell their metric products, but he's giving away some seeds, dude. He's got this fucking awesome, phenomenal fire OG cross that he's been going back and forth and recreating. He actually gave us some flour, and he lets me smell it. I'm like, God, dude, that just smells like some OG Kush, man. He's like, yeah, it's this fire OG that he was working on. It's basically as true to OG Kush as it can get, and it sure as shit dude, reminds me of. Well, I went through back in the day. There was Genotype A2, which I want to say is all of their clones have been from like Leaf Doctor and the guys who did the breeding for them and stuff, and they had a like a Tahoe and a Ghost and a Fire and a SFV and fucking all of these different things way back in like 2014 or 15. And I think I spent like 25 or 50 bucks a cologne on every one of those fucking things, dude. And I ran them all, and they were all so identical to each other. They were just like so similar, you know, ever so slightly differences. But the one thing that they had so similar in common was just that smell, dude. It's just that OG Kush, man. I just don't know what else to call it. I just call it Kush or OG smell, but it's earthy and gassy and potent.
This thing's smoking really nice.
Yeah, I can tell. It's even as hell. Good ash.
That's what spending some time packing it. There you go. Making sure that it's nice and
That's what a 30-minute pack looks like, ladies and gentlemen.
30-minute pack looks like. That's right.
Ooh, switch to live chat. I didn't say that today.
Oh, there you go.
Where's the sign?
Halfway through. Not too
Oh
bad.
my god. I haven't seen the sign forever.
We've been cleaning a lot lately.
There's been a lot of.
There we go.
There it is. There's the live chat.
And there's our special effects. Thank you.
For a better chat experience, click on live chat.
And then it flies away.
Don't forget to like us too.
We don't have to like all of us.
Yeah.
Just like the ones you do like.
Click the like button, I guess.
Show some thumb love.
Whoa.
Love your
So Spartan and I were talking. We gotta pop some seeds, some of the triple burger. I got test results back for Indigo, Daydream.
Who'd you get the test results from? Why don't you shout them out, Baked Pone?
Deep Roots Tissue Culture in Ann Arbor.
Shout out to them. They were in
Rachel
the
over
chat
there.
earlier. I saw them in chat earlier too, by the way.
She was on the show 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
On the live, on the MBGS live.
And so
Or no, is she on Late Sesh? I don't remember now.
No, she's on MBGS. She wants to come on Late Sesh.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, 'cause we
like a typical Michigander, I've learned, you guys act tough in the winter, but nearly almost all of you go down to Florida to get away from the winter, and that's where she's headed.
Well,
But damn, Spartan Pros.
I would probably go down there to get away from the winter.
I think the two above me are the two exceptions that I know of. But like I know so many people. I'm like, where are you going? Oh, Florida. It's the middle of winter. Sounds about right. But
I got too much work to do up here.
I'm just giving shit. Yeah, that's I don't even go back to Florida. My parents are like, when are you coming? I'm like, I got two sets of plans. You know, I got work plans and I got work plans, and I gotta take care of them all. So I don't know when I'm coming.
We'll get down there
But
on vacation one of these times.
I was like, you're welcome to come up anytime. It gets warm around May. So
We almost went last year. We almost drove down to Key West and back, but we then changed up all of that because we didn't get the Bronco in time.
oh yeah.
So we ended up going to the Smokies instead, where it'd be just a little bit cooler in fucking June. When did we go to the Smokies? May or June? Then like June. But we were gonna go to. The plan was if we got the Bronco in like January or February, we're gonna drive down. My Focus just wouldn't. I wouldn't have trusted it to make it all the way down there. But we were gonna go down and just drive down there so we could go fucking take the top off, you know. But it was like 80 degrees in March, so we were able to take the top off, so we didn't have to drive to Florida. So,
Yeah.
we're like, fuck it. So never mind. So we went to the Smokies. That truck was intense driving in the mountains, man. The truck's 5,000 pounds. So like going up was like chugging along, you know what I mean? And going down, it was like trying to break a fucking tanker, dude. It was insane.
try being the passenger. I was terrified.
I really didn't use the brakes much. I was riding the fucking gears, man. It was just like riding second gear the whole time.
Did you guys? Well, I don't know where you went, but when I came up to Michigan, I had to go through all the mountains. I took I think it's I-75, the big one that goes north to south. And that one, even I was just in a Forester, you know, Subaru, and even going down some of those hills, it wasn't really so much I was worried about me. It was like, man, I better not be like, you know, suddenly braking for these trucks and anything behind me that maybe not be able to brake as well. Because there's some big, long hills, even on the main highways.
Have you ever driven like through Pennsylvania?
Oh, yeah, that's where I used to live.
Yeah, driving like I-80 east, man.
Yeah, we did that once.
Dude, that's a trucker route, dude. You have, and trucks go 70. It's not like Michigan. We got this like flat state where the trucks have to go 55 miles an hour. Dude, trucks are going 70, 80 miles an hour on those.
Oh, yeah.
Downhill on your ass. You're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm from out of state. I can't speed. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
I got a joint in my back pocket, motherfucker. I'm out of state. I got out of state tags.
It was just me and my dog. My dog's, of course, at this point in the trip is fast asleep. So I'm just like, it's like, I got this, dude. I got this. He's asleep. He doesn't give a shit. Like trying to talk to something, but it is definitely nerve-wracking because even on I-75, there's points where like there's a guardrail just like you see in, you know, in your on 94 and stuff. It's just a metal rail. Over that rail is nothing but 1,000, maybe 2,000 feet of sheer rocks. So it's like, yeah, I hope if I have an accident, it's not here. Let me get past this part real quick. Let me get past this part, and then there's another part. Let me get past this part.
Dude, smoking.
But I mean, it's beautiful if you're a passenger, maybe, and not worried or
Do
something.
you feel the same
I
way
don't
when you
know
go
how
over bridges and stuff, like bridges over water?
Yeah, I do, but I just focus on the lines on the road and stuff. I'm just like, and everyone else, I'm like, fuck off, you know, like as long as I don't get pushed off.
Have you been on the Mackinac Bridge yet? Over that?
Which one's that?
I hate driving over
It goes
there.
from the lower peninsula to the upper peninsula.
No, dude, I looked up a place up there,
So you can
and
see-
the upper it was 10-hour drive. 10 hours is half of this country if I go south. That's crazy.
Oh, you must
I
have
was
looked up,
like,
you must have looked up the 31 route. You're talking about going up the West Coast?
I
Yeah.
put in. It was like I think it was like Harbor Town or something. Harbor
Yeah,
Town.
yeah, you're way the
You go up
harbor.
131,
And it was the north coast of the upper island
Yeah.
thing, but it wasn't way left. It was on the right side, and it was still 10 hours. And I was like, oh my god, I really want to go there. It looks cool, but golly, can I just fly?
straight up?
So you could go to like Marquette probably in what was that, 8 hours maybe?
You can get to the bridge in 4 hours, dude. That's
Yeah.
not that
Really?
You get to
Yeah.
the bridge in 4 hours. If you took
Mm.
69 and 75 and not take
Yeah.
31, you would get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take 69 because it's got a 75-mile-an-hour speed limit, which means you can go 80 easy.
And that'll
And
take you
then-
75.
Yeah, just go up
And then
120.
75 north. Don't do
Uh,
127. No, don't.
No,
do
let's
that.
127. No, that's going
Don't
to
do that.
take you to
That
fucking
wasn't too
31.
bad up to
Oh,
Calcasica.
gee.
Not 31, man. Don't
Now
go,
you sound like a boomer, Baked. Now you
go,
sound
go
like
31 if you
Yeah,
want
windmills and
sites.
Get the hell out of here with that.
If you want to stop at Silver Lake sand dunes and fucking smoke a doobie, take 31, dude. If you want to drive the coast and fucking drive 35 miles an hour, half the fucking route, take
no, I don't want to do 35. 35 is too slow.
Go 35, dude, because there's a state
Uh.
trooper in every speed trap sitting there. Fucking, I don't know what he's doing, but he's not pulling nobody over. He's just sitting there. They're everywhere, man, and
Watching
it's
Netflix.
35 miles an hour up most of 31, dude.
Yeah,
One
you gotta get over, you gotta
Yeah.
go over the bridge, man. That's an adventure. It's just
gotta do
it's,
the bridge.
it's a really big bridge, man. Just driving over
Yeah.
it makes you
I
cool.
saw a satellite shot of
bridges
it.
in the country.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
cool
right on
bridge.
the other side, there's a really cool little town, and there's
Yeah, look out and stuff.
what is it, St. Ignace?
St. Ignace.
And there's a casino that's on
Ooh,
it's
Slots, baby.
it's on land. It's on tribal land, and it's super cool and like not a lot of people. Super fun.
Baked, you can go into this in the St. Ignace in the middle of winter, and there's only one diner open in this little town. And it's probably the only diner open for 100 miles, and there's like a gas station or something, right?
That literally gives me anxiety.
Fresh whitefish,
Like
fresh whitefish, dude.
what am I gonna do with fresh whitefish? I'm gonna have to flay it. Yeah, I like civilization. I want to go up in the summer.
It's a reservation, man. You get
you definitely want to go in the summer.
Yeah, I think summer's cool. You know what bridge I'm scared of a little?
What?
The one in Detroit that if you actually get on, you're going to Canada, and and they might hold you for a couple hours or something.
Oh, dude, that bridge, the one that if you're in the wrong lane,
I'm always like,
get on.
Yeah, I'm like, please, I gotta avoid this. This.
Don't get lost in Southwest Detroit. You will end up in Canada.
Yeah.
It will happen.
And so if you guys do go to the Keys, the Keys are basically a bunch of bridges.
Well, there's also a tunnel in Detroit, which is a little terrifying because as you're driving through it and you're seeing, I'm sure it's just condensation, but you're seeing water coming through the sides of the wall a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You're like,
we went on a vacation once when we lived in PA, and we went to New Jersey or somewhere around there where there's like all those bays in Chesapeake Bay, and there's a under ocean tunnel, and like that was nerve wracking, and I was.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
No, I was like, let's get through this. We could have taken a ferry. We could have put our car on a boat that floats. But no, we decided to go under here. But I guess they do it all over the world.
That was me, man. I just felt like, man, if we were broke down or something.
What if your car breaks down? Triple A's coming in the middle of a tunnel? I don't think so.
And then what happens with a fire starts in your car? Now you're just burning your oxygen and you're under a fucking tunnel.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tunnel if you wanted to get between Canada and Detroit in a reasonable amount of time.
There's a tunnel?
Yeah, because the bridge would be backed up for hours, dude.
There's a tunnel underneath the water?
Yeah, so the bridge and the tunnel are like probably 10 miles apart. The bridge is off of 96, maybe not 10 miles, close to 10 miles. Like bridges off 96 down in Southwest, and you'll end up on the bridge. You'll know you're on the bridge. But the tunnel is kind of hidden, man. It's down by the Rensen, right next to the Renaissance Center. There's a fucking entrance to the tunnel. If you're in the wrong fucking lane and you're trying to go to the Renaissance Center, you're going to Canada and you're going underground.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's basically how it's going. One lane goes into the Renaissance, one lane goes around Jefferson, the other lane goes into the fucking underground. And that used to be the easy route, dude. That used to be you need to go to Canada. There's no questions asked, man. You're going to fucking Canada. You're coming home. You're going to the tunnel.
That's the way I went.
You take the tunnel, man. Nobody cares what's in your truck going through the tunnel.
Do you go so deep that it goes underneath where the water is?
They just want to get you through, dude. If you got the balls,
that's crazy. That's crazy engineering.
They let you through. You could be carrying trailers. I used to drive down.
We should do that. I'm gonna get a passport just to do that.
Do you want to know what's more crazy, bro? Is that these lakes sit on a giant salt deposit because it was an ancient seawater that fucking evaporated off and just deposited a ton of salt.
But they're not salt.
So currently they fucking dig under the Great Lakes and they're mining salt under the Great Lakes, and we get a lot of salt that way.
So when that
that is nuts too.
That tunnel's going kablunk. Hopefully they're not mining underneath the tunnel.
No, I'm sure they have
I hope not.
they have regulations protecting that tunnel. Like
the tunnel's a trip, dude. Yeah, no, we used to.
I just saw a picture of them building it.
Canada.
Oh, it's crazy.
We used to go to Canada, drink for hours, dude. This is like you're 19, you can drink in Canada. You go over there, drink for just hours, come home with one eye barely open. You're like, you guys going into America? Yeah. You got your passport? No. You got an ID? Maybe.
Oh my god.
The dude's like, just fucking go. It's 4 a.m, dude. It's like they let everybody through the tunnel. It was fucking weird. Maybe it was fucking privilege. It was probably mostly fucking stupid.
Did they stop you in the tunnel or at the ends of the tunnel?
No, they like getting into the U.S. a lot of times, as long as you had a Michigan or regional area license, they just fucking let you back in. They wouldn't.
Oh, that's cool.
It's not that way anymore. This is probably before.
I say, yeah.
Let's say you're 38. We can do the math.
Yeah, I mean, it's
almost 20 years ago.
Yeah,
now
You just said you were 19. So
nowadays, it was definitely before all of those. Like, I can't even get into Canada with the driver's license that I have now. I probably have to bring a fucking passport, which I don't.
you have to have a passport now.
You don't
Well,
have
I don't have those, so
You have to have your license though, the upgraded.
yeah, I don't have one of those either.
That won't even help you though. That won't help you get into Canada anymore. It used to work. The
it's
plus or whatever on your license, yeah, not anymore. Now they still want a passport.
Yes,
Damn.
you just be able to get over the border, no problem.
Yeah.
And coming back was super easy as long as you were a citizen, and you had a driver's license, and you weren't carrying any non-citizens with you. That was a stipulation that would hold you up. Or if you were declaring anything, that shit would hold you up, dude. If you had anything to declare, but a lot of times, like, we would buy booze over there and like need to declare it. You know what I mean? Because if you do get caught with that shit, it's a thing. But if you declared, they would hold you up sometimes. But we have gone.
What if you buy a bag of chips? Should you declare it?
A lot of shit I wouldn't declare, like chips. I would declare alcohol, stuff like that. Stuff you you don't want to really get busted with. Cigarettes.
At 19?
I was gonna say, how are you gonna declare alcohol coming in to the U.S.
We weren't,
and they're like, "Oh, you're not 21."
No, that was like my parents would be declaring.
Oh yeah.
When I was a kid, like, we used to make a lot of trips into Canada just to go see friends of the family.
Yeah.
Would like have a cottage over in right on the other side of Lake Erie. There's a little series of beaches, one of a little city called Colchester, and they had a little cottage over there. Their whole fucking family has like a series of a whole bunch of cottages all along the coastline there. So we used to take my dad used to drive us on his boat. We used to depart out of Wyandotte downriver, just south of the bridge, basically. And we used to go across Lake Erie, anchor the boat at the sandbar, and then hang out and stay the weekend at our friend's cottage. And so they had a kid my age, and we grew up together, and we're really good friends.
If you had your own boat, you could go to Canada without getting checked.
It was so easy to go to Canada without getting checked.
That's what I'm saying.
You would have to declare. You would have to
or submarine.
You're supposed to call the Coast Guard and let them know that you're going in.
You're supposed to be like, "Hey, skipper, coming in. Come give me a good old search."
From what I know, my dad would call the Coast Guard and tell them that we were going in every single. We went to Canada. I don't know.
In Florida, you used to be able to leave from the Keys and stuff like that and go to Bahamas and stuff. No questions asked if you had a boat.
I mean,
so I didn't know if it was like
I
similar.
have no idea how many times anybody had gotten through without calling the Coast Guard, or at least Daddy Red told me that he always called the Coast Guard. I was always a little.
So you just call them and they don't. It's not like they're coming.
You got to radio it. Well, back then.
Yeah, I see. They probably just mark it down.
Yeah.
So the man knows.
You just give them your N number, or what's a boat? Maybe that's
at that point, Red. At that point, is it two men knowing? Because not only does the USA man, the man, but then you have the Canada man.
Yeah, and I'm not sure which side you would call it into, if you'd have to call it into both sides.
I think they would both know that knowledge.
You probably have to call it into both sides. And they could choose to probably come out and check your boat if they wanted to. We had never been pulled over.
Oh, that's cool.
I've been pulled over on the water a ton. But we've never been pulled over like internationally on the waters. Lake Erie is a trip, man. We used to stay out on the lake all the time when I was a little kid. like up until I was probably like 10 years old, I think. maybe 8 or 9 years old. But old Daddy Red had a cabin cruiser. It was a Sea Ray Sundance, from what I remember. It was like a 26-inch with the 26-inch, 26-foot. You know, it wasn't huge. Man.
He goes 26-inch. Whole time he's talking about an RC boat.
RC
Son
boat.
of a bitch.
Cruising around, man.
You had us going now.
That was a banging dock, dude.
Oh, that's a pretty cool boat.
Racing RC boats in our little dock space, dude.
Yeah.
It was cool, man. Yeah, I grew up running around the Wyandotte fucking, what would that be, marina, and there was a metro park right next door, and I used to go walk over to the metro park, and they had a wave pool and shit, and I'd never go swim in the wave. I would never have tickets. I was breaking into the metro park, you know, so couldn't just go do stuff, so I had to like go wander around the park and shit as a little kid and just go like watch people fish and kick rocks, literally. Probably play hide and seek and shit. That was fun, man. Growing up on that, fucking around in Lake Erie, that was a lot of fun. Grew up, fucking got taken to Puddin' Bay at a young age, thrown off a boat, all kinds of fun shit. You know, I never partied at Puddin' Bay, but all the adults did. When I was younger, people were still going to Puddin' Bay. I don't know if Puddin' Bay is still a thing. I know that like Bob Lowe and all that shit's been a bust. Baked, you don't know about any of that stuff. That's
Boblo, man. I went to Boblo Island.
Boblo Island used to be this island down like south of Detroit, dude, off the river. There was this little island, man, and there was an amusement park there. And it was banging all summer, dude. It was so fun.
You take a paddle boat to get to it. So you ride these big paddle boats to get out to the
ferries. So you take your boat
and
out.
Be an amusement park.
Yep. And there's an amusement park, and they had a log ride and a few.
Like a good amusement park.
Man, they had like
a decent one.
Shit.
I wouldn't say good. It's more for kids, younger kids.
As a kid, it was thrilling.
For a second I was thinking but I think I saw a documentary on one that was on the East Coast near like New Jersey, of course. It was like the most dangerous one in the world.
You talking about Coney Island?
No, I don't think it was that. It was this other amusement park where they would build their own. They built a slide that was a loop, and
cool.
Yeah, it did.
Bunch of
it
people
doesn't work. So
thing.
kids got hurt and shit, and there's underage drinking. There's a whole documentary on Netflix about it, but that's what I was thinking of for a second. So I was like, was it like a decent park? But no.
So speaking of amusement parks on the East Coast, the World's Fair, I think that might have been at Coney Island. I'm not sure. What year was that, man? 1912?
I was gonna say, yeah, they don't do that anymore. I don't think.
There was a what's a Ferris wheel. There was a big Ferris wheel at the World's Fair. I don't know who purchased it, but it is like in Dearborn, right on 94 fucking freeway, dude. Baked. If you're driving to Detroit, driving down 94, and you will see that fucking Ferris wheel, and you won't even fucking know it's there, dude. It's disguised as the Uniroyal
tire.
It's a giant tire. It's a big fucking tire, dude. Everybody's fucking seen that thing if you've driven down 94.
Yep.
And it's in the area of Telegraph. They spiced up the area when we had the Super Bowl coming to town, and they built a new fancy bridge going over Telegraph. And that tire has been there my entire life. I don't know what year they built that tire. They probably put it in like the 60s or the 70s. Basically, they used that World's Fair Ferris wheel as the frame and the skeleton. And I've never been inside that thing, but supposedly that Ferris wheel is still inside. I don't know if like the seats or anything like that is still in there. It'd be fucking cool if it was. But that is the frame.
They still do the World Fair.
Do they?
It's called World's Exposition in 2023, Buenos Aires, Argentina. That's where it's going. U.S. tried to get our bid was for Minnesota. We wanted to put it in Minnesota, but we lost to Buenos Aires. So the next opportunity will be. So it looks like it's every either 2027 or 2028 or 2030.
How many years? What is it?
So like it's like a chunk. I don't know. I guess.
Few years.
It travels.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I wonder what that's like. Hmm.
It
If
probably,
it comes to the U.S., I want to check it out.
probably costs a lot of money.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Seems
Let's
like
look.
say
Ticket
burn for a
price.
half hour, and I think it's about done. I'm starting to get to the point where it's getting all woody.
I would imagine it'd be a lot like a electronic expo or a CES event, something like that. These expos that they have every year.
Definitely woody.
Well, back in the day, in the 1900s or whatever, it was like Nikola Tesla would show something crazy off, you know. So I want to go check that out, like revolutionary stuff, maybe.
Like a TED Talk.
Oh, I've never seen those. I thought that was like therapy, so I never watched those.
It's not therapy.
I was like, I don't know what the hell that is.
Well, they're kind of diluted now, but when it was just TED Talks, it was pretty.
It's like a like a lecture in a convention hall or something.
Yeah, I guess I'll check it out. I'm trying to look at tickets here. General admission here.
TED
Free
Talks are like
parking.
live
Free
podcasts.
parking
For what?
for the World Expo in Argentina.
I was just gonna say that's Buenos Aires, man. I don't have a damn passport.
or a car there.
I don't have a passport.
Getting dropped off.
I don't speak the language.
Listen, these are all things you figure out later after you get a ticket. This is the World Fair. It only happens once every maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 7 years.
Was there one before this, or is this the first one?
No, apparently there's been one since they call it the World Expo now, but it's been since the World Fair. At some point they changed it to World Expo position or something. I don't know.
I'll have to look into it.
Yeah. See if there's
I'm
any.
confident. I'm confident I'll get at least 7 more years, man. I'll be patient, wait it out.
You're gonna wait for
Wait-
a US
Wait for a USA
bid.
one that I can support. Yeah.
That's how I feel about the Olympics if I ever went. I'd probably just wait until it's here again.
Yeah, I'd have to like probably win tickets or something. I don't know, man. That'd be a
I think with most sports, well, maybe not most sports, with the Olympics especially, it's way better just to watch on TV.
yeah. That's I'd rather.
I'm
just-
with you. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with your
The
original.
Olympics
With
is like
most
a
sports,
city, man.
better just to watch on TV.
Like there's
Yeah,
probably
or
so
play
much
it.
going on in Olympicville. Like think about that, man. Like you got the
It's
Olympics going on. Well, like you got the Olympics going on, right? But you got like all the people that come into town for the Olympics are like
Oh
staying
yeah,
home, you know what I mean? So like the place is bumping. So
like
you got Olympicville.
like you know how like, and this isn't not to get political. You know how campaigns over the last like 50 years have like quadrupled in cost. Like the last presidential campaign here was like billions of dollars on each side. It was crazy. The same thing happened with what you were just talking about, which I forgot.
The
Ripped.
Olympics.
Yeah, the Olympics.
And they
So like that's why you'll see countries bid for them. They're like, oh, we want all that commerce, and then they'll start building like
Commerce, man.
they'll build like $100 million stadiums that they don't even have, and knock out neighborhoods. They'll knock out whole neighborhoods for that stupid crap.
Yeah, dude. They'll
It's
build.
it's the craziest thing.
Yeah, dude.
but-
I guarantee, like, yeah, a country will build an island for a new.
I like that. I'd go to the Olympics if they added that, like a dab off.
one of those countries that's always built. What countries always building islands, like Dubai or like one of those?
Yeah, Dubai's building islands left
Like,
to right.
They'll build an island for the Olympics.
They're literally
China,
building.
I think, is the most famous for building islands, and they're still doing it.
China's building.
Really?
So China will build some islands.
China's
They already
build-
had the Olympics, didn't they?
What if we got the best island builders together and built better islands? That's what I would do.
How far down does it have to go
Into the foundation, you mean?
of Earth? Yeah.
Depends on what you want to put on the
I
island.
don't know. That's for the next late sesh. I probably have time, but
Yeah, how much?
I want to find out how they build artificial islands now. Like,
Probably.
it's just like Venice. They had to put fucking logs in mud, but what do you do in the ocean?
I bet they just move mountains, man. They probably blast into mountains
look
or
it up.
quarry out.
No, you drive
fucking-
those metal walls that look like corrugated, whatever, sheeting, and they fucking drive that into the bedrock.
They
Pump the
drain
water, fucking pump
and
the
they
water
drain
out.
the ocean,
Yeah,
and then they
start
fill
dumping.
it.
Yep, start filling that shit.
Nope.
Yep.
They dredge the Persian and Arabian Gulf floors. And then they spray it and vibro compact it.
What?
So they basically dredge the middle of those seas or those gulfs.
So they destroy all of the ancient
Yes.
all of the ancient microbe and
Yeah, that's terrible. As a reef enthusiast, that's why we have problems with reefs. But usually it's because at least they're getting something out of it, like a fish or something. You know what I mean? This is just making a stupid palm-shaped island.
Earth has just been pillaged.
Yeah, I hate that, dude. I've seen like satellite images of the dredging, like nets, because there's a documentary that that plastic island everyone bitches about in the middle of the ocean. It's there.
Yeah,
And it's real and it's bad, but 40%, the biggest part of that island, the biggest single source of that island is fishing. It's fishing industry shit, like mostly nets and things like that. The nets they use now in like big fish industry are literally miles long. And when they scrape the bottom of certain floors, you can see it from like satellite imagery. It's like, oh, cool. There goes 7 bajillion habitats that have been living for millions. It's So like
it's
better. It's better. It's like I watched the video today. Go fish your own fish if you want some fish, and go hunt your own stuff because you shooting one arrow is one animal. Instead of like a farmer, for instance, modern agriculture. How many animals does a modern farmer kill?
Eat, man.
Every squirrel, every gopher, every maybe bird that tries to get his crop. So it's like, really, you got hunting and stuff like that wasn't that bad. So it's like fish your own fish.
It's such a like I've done a lot of fishing in my day.
I don't eat fish though.
I've grown up fishing. I've grown up hunting. I followed my dad around in the woods as a little kid and learned how to recite the ABCs backwards and sit in the woods reading books. And I mean, just like my dad was dragging me out in the woods when I was like 4 or 5, probably not 4, but probably 6, 7 years old, definitely 7, 8, 9 years old, 10 years old. And then I was old enough to start hunting and wasn't into it. I was 13. I went into hunter safety course and did all the stuff, got carded up and was able to follow my dad with a rifle if I wanted to, or with a shotgun and hunt on my own. And that was about the time where I stopped getting interested. I just wasn't interested. I was more interested in, honestly, man, I was like 13. I was probably chasing girls and weed and stupid shit, dude. Skating and getting in BMX riding and fucking finding trails in the woods and going to the mall and buying fucking stupid shoes and you know what I mean? And just like that was me at 13. And then it took me until I was like in my early to mid 20s before realizing that what I was actually missing out on, and it wasn't just the hunt, it was the bonding experience with my brothers and my dad and like other hunters that you run into, and I've learned a lot more. And just like honestly, the life experience that it is, learn how to navigate the forest, and like it ends up becoming really fun. It turned into a big. And I was missed out on a lot, but like I've never actually killed anything, man. All these years, I've never eaten my own food. You know what I mean? So there's still that. I have fished and done that whole thing and caught fish, and so
Well,
there's
it's like your garden
I still have a long
is
learn.
it's synergetic. Besides not liking the hawks or whatever, Becca didn't like. The rest of the animals you welcome. So it's like you're feeding back into it. Whereas like you can farm modern farmers, agriculture, they don't they don't do that. They don't want any animals near their crops. They spray with shitty
Yeah.
sprays. It's
Well,
just
like I agree with all of that stuff, man, because I want to. I
I
want
think
to.
it's a scale. It's probably a scale thing, is what I'm getting at. I guess. It's
Yeah.
like
Well,
if we could stop having such big scale and everybody could get a little bit of their own, I guess.
how many animal? Like if you like, for example, if you buy canned chicken, that's a super common
Canned
product.
chicken.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, yeah. You can buy chicken in a can. You
You can
can
do that at Sam's, dude. I bet
load up. You can make your chicken soup with
I don't
it.
know if I've ever seen that.
Your chicken casserole with it. Your chicken salad. Your pasta salad. You can make all your shit with some canned chicken. Dude, you're probably eating like 40 different chickens. You know what I mean? So like
Oh,
ethically, I don't know. It's hard
how
to
are
see
your
any of those
chickens?
birds. Any of those birds would be like ethically raised, and they're all just processed together.
Oh, 100%.
Great.
Ours are
dude.
just fine. We've been getting 6 eggs a day, which is cool.
6 a day, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I've been pulling up the old underneath the mulch, pulling up the weed barrier from the last couple of years, and all the little fuckers were right at my feet, grabbing every little bit of plant material or worm bite that would fall.
Did they get some worms?
Dude, they were going to town. I didn't see any worms, just because it's probably just because like the ground was frozen.
They want bugs so bad.
They were
just
going to town on everything.
little.
They're eating all the fungus and all the bugs, man. I'm hoping they're getting all the earwigs. I want them to just destroy all the earwigs.
Yeah.
I want to successfully grow corn this year.
You don't want them to get in your ears.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I think what this bed that I just
I totally get it.
we're gonna do a 5 sisters.
I have nightmares about those fuckers getting in my ears.
Spartan probably knows what the 3 sisters are. I'll do the 5 sisters.
So the 3 would be corn and squash, and what's the third one? Beans.
Beans. Yeah.
You know what I'm doing this year?
We're gonna include
Spartan,
some
you can help me. We'll go to these greenhouses around here. I'm getting a fucking apple tree.
Yeah, dude, you should, man. That's awesome. Fuck
I
yeah.
better start now, and I'm gonna try to get one that's already grafted with Honeycrisp.
If you already know you're gonna have a tree, if you know that you're gonna get a
Easy
tree,
to find usually.
Bake,
Yeah.
do you know about where you want to plant it?
Not yet,
Not yet.
but I just had a lot of sunlight open up when my tree broke in half.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you figure
So
out,
he's got to clear the tree out of his yard first before he worries about.
Yeah, I
putting
got
another
even
in
more.
there.
I got even more logs than wood, by the way. If you ever run out of wood chips for some reason,
that's gonna come into play in exactly what I'm gonna say. As soon as you figure out where you want to plant it, start like building yourself a little compost pile of like wood chips and stuff right there. That way,
Yeah.
when you get the tree, you'll already have some good compost already going.
good idea.
For you to plant into.
I'm gonna start thinking about it and looking at where I want to put it. But I want a tree this year because the longer you wait, the less apples you're gonna get. So
Yeah, we got a couple last year, and so they are in their first winter in the ground, and hopefully they survived it.
Well,
yeah,
sorry to cut you off, Becca. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Hopefully they survived it. Ooh.
The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree was last fall. the next best time to plant a tree is as soon as you're going to plant a tree. So get out there and plant a tree, dude. You're awesome for thinking about planting a tree. I planted my first 4 trees last year. I actually planted lots of trees. Like at my, I've planted a lot of trees in my day. I planted my first 4 trees that I'm going to grow in our yard last year. So I'm happy for it. It's thrilling to see them.
We got 2
back there.
apples, a cherry, and a pear.
And I
Oh,
don't know if
nice.
they're going to come back yet. So we'll actually give the full rundown probably in like maybe a month if we start seeing buds, which I'm expecting. We're already seeing buds, right? We've seen buds as of the last couple months that are not like frozen dead buds. There are areas that we can see are dead, and then you can tell when the plant is still alive because it's just green, red.
Yeah.
It's like a fresh skin to it. Even though it's wintertime, it's only dormant. It's still very much alive. It's pretty cool, man. I really enjoy like watching all kinds of like not just annuals because cannabis are so used to like growing annuals with cannabis, but really watching like perennials because we have a few perennials that just have been green all winter long. And then there's a couple sage plants out there right now, and the leaves, like you can tell, like are like, this sucks, dude. Fucking
Yeah.
But they're alive. You know what I mean? Like they're alive. They're gonna start growing once it's warm, and the snow keeps fucking crushing me, dude. But every time it fucking thaws out, I come back up and I'm cold, but fuck, I'm alive. And it's got some death to it, but there's life out there, man, all winter long. It's super cool to see, even though it's like 25 degrees and it's frozen, the ground's frozen. Like the sun comes out, shit thaws, and then all of a sudden there's like radishes. Like I said, like we have all the peas are already like this tall. It's crazy. Like it's the beginning of March. Well, it's not the beginning, it's actually the end of March. Holy shit. Spring. Here we are. All right. That's it. Yeah,
I might try
happy equinox.
grapes. A grapevine too.
Well,
We got
before we move past your apple, I just want to make this clear. This apple, is it for you or is it for the deer?
And for me, I like Honeycrisp, but if they go bad, I throw them to the deer.
That's a good idea.
I see. I thought
Sometimes I don't eat them quick enough.
that maybe your whole idea for the tree was sprung from the deer.
Yeah, that's a good
was
idea
fun.
though. But yeah, eventually the tree's gonna be so big, it'll provide me with apples and the deer.
You know what you should get is get one of those ones that are grafted with like 4 or 5 different varieties.
That's what I was thinking about. But like the guy in chat too, Ty, he said get one, maybe the main stem as like a really resistant variety. And I was like, yeah, so
That's
get
why they
that and then
usually-
get some others off of it.
And then
It reminded me of when you guys showed us the cactus.
try
How
to get
like you can
bare
graft it.
root tree
Yeah.
if you can. If you can get a bare root tree, that means that it's not in a pot. That way you're not bringing in like somebody else's potentially infected soil into your area,
Yeah.
So a bare root tree is just going to be a dormant tree. And a lot of times they'll be a little bit cheaper too because you're just getting, and you can get them shipped to you. Stark Brothers is a company that does sell grapes and fruit trees and berry bushes and all kinds of shit, man. And we just ordered some grapes and some figs and some elderberry and
a mulberry.
A mulberry. Yeah, we are going to do another little tree this year. A bare root mulberry. The mulberry is bare root. And then the grapes, and then we got some blueberries on sale. Last week they had a little. And actually, I think because we got some blueberries from Stark Brothers. Yeah, so we're gonna actually where our trees are, we're gonna have a guild. This is a permaculture thing where you have some other perennial type of plants, including maybe some, like you could have like some lavender, you could have something that's going to promote beneficial insects, maybe pollinators because it's a fruit tree. But then you could also have some grasses and some things like that might help promote beneficial insects, but also helps promote promote good root growth, fungal growth beneath the structure, in the soil structure. It's a lot of soil work going on if you're including all of this diversity of grasses and or cover crop, some sort of like, a rhizome, clover or something like that, a vetch or something, maybe like a green manure that you chop back and include to the trees. But just having a kind of diversity of like a few perennials, right? Stuff that's also going to come back every year. And like we're going to use some blueberry bushes kind of in between a couple trees. So like it'll be like a tree and then a couple blueberry bushes in like the middle of the bed. That way, like you have like, let's think of a garden bed, right? And it's like 4 feet wide, and then in the middle, it'd be like the taller stuff would go in the middle. Well, if those are perennial, you don't ever have to plant in the middle of your bed. It's just going to come up every year. And in this case, bushes just sit there every year. And then you don't have to fucking worry about getting in the middle of your bed, and stretching and getting over. Then you just worry about planting out the edges of your bed. So, and so you can have like this perennial guild where you have like some trees and then maybe some blueberries and then maybe some sage and some other shit that's perennial. And then you can have some annuals in there as well. And if you want to throw a cannabis in between a couple trees or something, that'd be a great spot for it. Throw some sunflowers. Some nitrogen fixers are best. And there's actually some trees that get there. Think like, was it moringa? Moringa we can't grow up here. But what was that other tree? There was some other legume trees. And they'll actually, what are they called? There's a couple of legume trees, and they're perfect for growing near fruit trees, and they'll actually help fix the nitrogen in the soil while they're growing with the root nodules, rather than like having to break down the leaf material into the soil and do the chop and drop. But of course, every winter it'll break back, and you'll get the leaves with nitrogen. So those are pretty interesting things when you're talking about like having a perennial plant like that, like a tree, because most people just wood chip mulch around the tree for landscaping. I'm kind of getting into this like hobby of like agriscaping, and I'm kind of like taking a combination of different words and blending them together into this agriscape, where it's more of like a permaculture agriscaping, where I'm including like all of these. And almost like no-till, I can almost include like no-till and no-dig into this like agriscaping, where I'm using landscaping concepts and then even no-till concepts to create beauty, right? Landscaping, but also to make it serve more than one purpose. Serve dual, if not triple purpose of everything that's planted. Have it be a food source, a fiber source, a fuel source, some sort of a medicinal source, but most certainly like multiple. Even grass is multi-purpose, especially if you get into like horsetail and some shit like that. That's gonna bring silica up out of the ground and shit like that. But a lot of grasses are great for silica binding, and especially nitrogen feeding, just building compost. And trees are awesome because they can grow carbon at an extraordinarily fast rate, and then you can wood chip it up and mulch it and build yourself carbon. And from all of the information that I've been gathering, including even stuff from 10 years ago up until now, they're saying that yes, hard carbon, if tilled into the soil, will tie up nitrogen. And it will bind nitrogen, and it will destroy. It'll eat your nitrogen up, and so you have to supplement it. But if you top your soil with the wood chips, it won't bind up your nitrogen nearly as much, if at all, if you only stack it on top and then you plant underneath it. You can't plant into the carbon directly. You have to go into the soil. The carbon on top is going to decay and allow for composting and allow for good stuff to occur, not necessarily carbon or not necessarily nitrogen pulling. Now, if you till it in and you put carbon into the soil, it will pull your nitrogen.
And so you could put a
You know,
layer like
different thing. It's kind of a layer.
biochar and then the wood chips.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So whatever. We actually did. We tossed some I amended after I broad forked our area. I actually did a little bit of calcium oyster shell with a little bit of azomite. I still do a little bit of azomite in the garden, even though I'm on clay. I'm probably overthinking it. I probably don't need to do it at all. But I am just barely like a cup worth in a huge square footage area plus the oyster shell, and I just mix it together. And it was so windy, it probably didn't even hit the ground. It's probably all in my neighbor's yard. And then I added a little bit of shit out of our fire pit. Exactly. Yeah. So whatever's in our fire pit, whether it's biochar or just some wood ash. Thank you, Becca. Would be scattered across there, and then we added the leaf mulch mold from the wood chip pile on top of that, and then ideally we'd do a thick layer of wood chips on top, but we'll see how much wood chips we have. But if we don't have wood chips, we'll go grass clippings, and we'll just continue to layer grass clippings. Just remember, if you do grass clippings and you don't catch the grass before the grass seeds, well, now you have grass seeds in your fresh garden bed. So, always try to work with what you have, but be mindful with your inputs and, and all of that stuff. But dude, it's kind of fun experimenting and watching like methods, build life. And where I was broad forking today, I was getting into the clay. And it was a very distinct difference where I was broad forking that was once a pathway and the areas that I have been a no-till bed for the last 4 years. It was dark 4 inches down, and then it was clay in the beds. In the pathways, it was all clay. It was just, light yellow clay or gray yellow clay, whatever it was. And then the beds were like a dark black until I'd get to it. And it was really cool to see the production over the couple years, the way the processes worked. I guess that's all worm poop and biology. Right?
Yeah, in nature.
All right, I'm gonna let you guys talk for a minute. Finish rolling. We got 4 minutes.
Yeah, I'm excited because now I'm looking up grapes. I might buy a grape vine.
Dude, just go to Sam's Club, bro. You can get all that shit right there.
But that's Sam's. And we got like a bunch of good greenhouses near us.
I blew up. I blew my budget on food, but I wanted to walk out there. They had blueberry, blackberry, raspberry, and what was the other one in there?
No apples, no grapes.
Hardy kiwi. I didn't even look at the trees. The trees are outside.
Oh, they got trees?
We got some kiwi.
Blaine's has got trees too, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go check out the small business greenhouses we got.
That's right there by my house.
There's that one, and then there's one in between us and Hillsdale.
There's two by me. One north and one south.
Well, then I'm gonna hit those and get an apple tree and some grapes going.
Yeah, dude.
I think I know where I'm gonna put them too, right next to the pole barn.
Do it.
Oh yeah.
One strip of grapes, and then in the middle of there, apple tree.
Put it over by your.
It'll shade the pole barn.
I was gonna say put over to shade the HVAC units outside.
Yeah. What's that humming? Oh, those are humming grapes. New variety. They make noises.
They make humming wine.
No, my mini split's super quiet, but yeah, it's almost show's almost over. We got 2 minutes. I want to thank chat for hanging around with us while we bullshit tonight. And
next show's gonna be what?
Yeah, we'll probably have a wake and bake on Saturday, and then next show will be the live on Sunday.
There you go. Catch us there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Everybody for the birthday love. Love you guys.
Happy birthday, Red. 38 rotations.
38
rotations.
38 rotations. Thanks to Mama Red, Daddy Red, kicking it around. They also celebrated their 39th anniversary on the 17th.
Congrats to
Yeah,
Daddy and Mama Red.
about a year after.
Congratulations.
Yeah, buddy.
So cheers, everybody. It
Have a good night.
Keep growing.
was a fun night, guys.